Welcome back to my lure box, folks. In today's video, the tide is ripping out and we're on the flats. We're chasing flathead. I'm after a feed today and I've got a great little lure with some awesome design features. I want to show you what this is all about, and I've got a few tips for you on how to get it done when it's dirty. Let's go. Yep, got it. Yep, got it. Oh, it's a nice fish too. That's what I was after here. Beautiful. Yeah. Come here, Floody. Because you are dinner, my buddy. Yep. Oh, and he's just spat out. My mounted camera's just died, but he's just spat out that little thing, which is a great tell on the kind of bait. Relatively fresh. There they are, folks. He just hoofed that. Great take. Oh, again, more bait. Oh, and he's becoming a problem in my mind. Get your rod out of the road, John. You absolute rookie. You are dinner. Alright, I'll just rig another out. Really simple to rig these. This PVC material makes it really easy, so you get it first time. And there's actually a little rattle in there. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try and overlay some footage if it doesn't come up clearly from the GoPro, but there's a little rattle in there, so when you're hopping and dropping these things, they're throwing out a little tick tick tick, which can call those fish in It's amazing how little is needed for that sound to travel through the water around it. It's a great presentation and an add-on in dirty water, which is what I've got here. Yep, there's a fish. Beautiful. Oh, I dropped it. Bugger. There's a couple more in this, I reckon. Part of the reason why my confidence has gone sky high, the first little flatty I pulled chucked up 2 of these, which to me, they're pretty recently consumed. To me, that means that there's flathead down here biting hard. So if I can just get this angle right, drop it into this little pocket here, I reckon they're sitting right where the bait's getting pushed onto an edge. Just need to get it right in the right spot there. There might be a little pocket of a few of them. But that was a nice fish that came out there. I'm pulling them up against the tide, so they're kind of facing me as I'm fighting them and bringing them in against the tide, which makes it a little bit of a challenge, but I'm up for it. Hopefully we can get a feed of flathead. Yep, there's a fish. Again, beautiful. Come here, Flatty. Now don't come off. Keep you just scooting all the way in. Oi, there we go. A little bit too small for a feed, I reckon. So you can go back in one quick move. Yep. No spikes. That is a win when it's no spikes. I just want to change my cast angle. When I hook these fish, I'm having to pull up against the tide like really hard. I think if I can just change my angle a little bit so I'm bringing it across the tide, it might help the bite and also help me get them in. That's the little plan anyway, got to try it. Here we go. Give that a go. I love bringing it across the tide. You've got the flathead lined up, dunk, 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 along a bank, and you're literally passing all of their little faces as you're bringing it in. I just think it's a really effective way of doing it. Depending on the shape of the bank, you know, sometimes you want to bring it back with the tide along a bank. But if you've got a bank that's sort of working like this one is here, where you've got the front edge, if you can bring it along that front edge before it drops off, I think that's ideal. That's how I've picked up a couple here. Hopefully there's another 1 or 2 in this. Yep, got it. Right off that edge too. Oh, I think a little bit better fish. And the idea was I was picking up a couple of smaller ones and I thought, yep, this is a better one. Just don't lose her, that's dinner. And we got these one fine little hook. I'm going to use the net here, I think, because I'm struggling to get them up against this tide. In you come, Flatty. Geez, they put up a good fight at that. Get in there, Flatty. You beauty. Have a look at this, folks. That's a beautiful fish. Prime for the table. Take a look down here. That is exactly what I was after. Right off that edge. Perfect. Oh, look at that. Perfect for the table. That is what I wanted. Yeah, that flathead's about 500, 520. That's what I'm fishing with, guys. They are fire for a little shad, a little herring pattern when the bait's tiny, okay? And that's what I've seen this morning. Beautiful. All right, we'll get that off. And you, my friend, are going down in the ice slurry. See you at dinner time. All right. That change of angle of the retrieve to bring across the drop off, I think that's helped me. I was sitting there for about 10 minutes just bringing it straight back off a drop off, and I wasn't covering enough ground. There's a good fish. Oh, again, straight across. I think this is a bigger one, the way that it took off, and it is heavy, folks. Heavy. And I'm nervous now because I'm fighting. Oh no, it's just been caught back. Oh, yep. Get here, get here. Mate, that took off so hard and fast, and oh, the weight in it is because it's hooked around that fin. Oi! Now you want to go psycho. Crazy. Couple in as many casts, and they are loving these little 3-inch prodigies. Now this one I'm not going to play around with too much because it is going bananas, but it's coming for tea. There you go, the little paddle tail. That prodigy paddle tail is fire. On the little first cast jig head, love it. Don't throw things around, mate. 3 for tea, that'll do. Let me show you what I'm running. This is a cast plastic. Okay, they're a 3-inch little lure, and they've got a unique tail design. Have a look at that. It's like a guitar pick style, really thin through the back leg there. So it wants to move at any movement. So when you're dropping it, as it's going down, it's paddling hard. When you lift it, she's going again. And they've just got this beautiful finish on them. This is called Casper, I think it is. That's the color that I really like. It's got this kind of blue purple hue to it. That little dark eye. I love the finish on these things. They're a PVC material, so really easy to rig. They're the jig heads that I'm using, and I've gone with them because of that painted head, and I'm fishing really dirty water. We've had so much rain and runoff in the last couple of weeks that it's made the fishing really challenging for flathead over the flats and that, so I've gone for these different colors, and these little cast prodigies have got, they come with a rattle inbuilt in the chin. And I love that design, really, really smart design. So if you have a look down in there, just under the chin, there's a rattle. And I can hear that, so it can certainly be heard in the water when you're moving this thing around and hopping and dropping it across the flats. So the flathead, boy, on a run out tide off a bank edge, when there's herring around or that little bait fish profile that they're eating, these things are gun. I'm in the good books now because I've got to feed for tea too. Oh, I just missed one. Felt the tiniest little bit of weight there. And it's just sand where I'm fishing. So it's only one thing it can be. Flatty. Dinner. All right, what I would like to do is take you through the technique so you can understand how it's working, how I'm getting the bite here, because fishing in dirty water can just create a little bit more tricky situation. But what you're wanting to do is not, when we're fishing clear water, you can lift the rod tip right up and you can get that lure moving, working, calling the fish in. When it's dirty like this, you want something, maybe a little rattle, but a paddle tail is my favorite way to go. And all I'm doing is like hop off the bottom and then just winding down the slack. I'm not taking it off the bottom more than say a foot, I would say. Whereas in clear water, it can help to lift it up on top of the weed, get it a metre or so up, hold it up there and then drop it back down even. But with this dirty water, I'm trying to just hop it right in front of their face so they can see it and they can get a visual on it. Because this dirty water, if it goes a foot away, you can't see it, it's gone. So just flicking it just over their heads as I'm going along, that's what's getting it done. And I'm not actually reeling. The tide's doing a lot of the moving of the lure, and I'm just hopping it back off the bottom, watching for when that line goes slack and gets a belly in it, and then I'm lifting it again, just a couple of hops. So it pays to just give it that attention to the retrieve style, and it should make sense to the conditions. If it's dirty water, you're trying to keep it, if it's a visually feeding fish, you're trying to keep it down in its face, giving it time to hone in on it, or at least to make that decision to get at it. And I'm being pretty targeted in where I'm throwing now. I've sort of dialed in where these fish are sitting, right on this edge. So I'm not fan casting as I would if it was really clear conditions over a flat or something like that. I'm trying to put this right in front of their face as it comes over an edge. There it is, folks. Bloody fish burgers, sweet chili sauce. You'll be able to